Hey everybody, what's up? This is the Junk Synchron Hero. Today is February 10th, 2012, and as promised, I'm uploading what I think is a pretty decent deck profile for the Dragons Collide structure deck. So let's get started. Now, I obviously bought 3, and most people probably will too. So the first thing is I put in 3 Eclipse Wyverns. Eclipse Wyverns, basically, when they're sent to the graveyard, you can banish a level 7 or higher dark or light attribute dragon-type monster. And that's pretty cool, because if this card is ever banished, you get to put that banished card that you banished with Eclipse Wyvern's effect into your graveyard. I like to use this in combination with, as you guys will see later, like, what's it called, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, remove that from play, and then maybe use like a Escape from the Dark Dimension, which I'll show later. Obviously, like, just remove some dark types. You can use Escape from the Dark Dimension to resurrect them. Then I have 3 Raikou, the Lightsworn Hunters. This card's really good. You can easily use it to get rid of any card on the field. Well, maybe not easily, but you could. And it'll send top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, which is really good because you need a lot of cards in the graveyard in order for this deck to work. The next 2 cards I have 2 Light Pulsar Dragons. Basically, it's like a Chaos Sorcerer. Remove a Light and Dark type from play in order to special summon it, well, from your graveyard. And then, the cool thing is, you can special summon this card from the graveyard by sending a Light and Dark monster from your hand to the graveyard. So that's pretty cool. So there's that. And when it's destroyed, you can, let me see. Yeah, when it's just sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a level 5 or higher Dark-type Dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. So he's really awesome, Light Pulsar Dragon. Next, I have 2 Dark Flare Dragons. Basically, it's the same thing. Remove a special summon by removing a Light and Dark type monster from play. Ooh, from your hand. Oh, yeah, oh wait, no, sorry, from your graveyard. Sorry, the monsters have to be in your graveyard. Once per turn, you can send 1 Dragon-type monster from your hand and 1 Dragon-type monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then target 1 card in either player's graveyard and banish that card. Now, you can either use that to cripple your opponent or help yourself out. And obviously, you can use that with, like, Return from the Dark Dimension. Then I have 2 Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress. She's awesome. You can use her once per turn to destroy a card on the field, a magic or trap card, but it forces her into defense mode, and then you can't change her mode. You can't change her mode until the end of your next turn. At the end of every turn, top 3 cards of your deck are sent to the graveyard. So use her cautiously. Be cautious. Next, I have 2 Red Eyes Darkness Metals. One of them is the original one from the Absolute Power Force thing. At least I think that's the original. I have 2 Red Eyes Darkness Metals. Basically, you can special summon him by removing from play a Dragon-type monster on your side of the field. And then once per turn, you can special summon a Dragon-type monster from your deck or graveyard. So, I mean, from your... No, not from your deck. From your graveyard or hand. Why did I say deck? So obviously, he's a very good card for this deck. So, I have 2 of those. Next, I have 2 Red Eyes Black Chicks. Let you tribute them to summon out a Red Eyes Black Dragon, so pretty obvious. Next, I have 2 Red Eyes Black Dragon. So there you go. And 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I normally wouldn't have bothered with the Blue Eyes, but I put the Blue Eyes White Dragons in because, bam, I have the Xyz monster, Thousand End Dragon. So he's pretty cool. Rank 8. He needs 2 level 8 normal monsters. And basically, by detaching one of his overlay units, I can destroy all other monsters on the field. So he's pretty cool. And that's why I have him in there. The Blue Eyes. Also, just for, like Death Fodder and stuff like that. Next up, this didn't come in the deck, obviously, but I added it in myself. Burial from Different Dimension. This is good. It'll let you send cards that have been removed from play back into your graveyard, up to 3. This obviously is very great with Eclipse Wyvern, so there you go. Future Fusion. I have Future Fusion in because, ta-da, a 5-headed dragon. Future Fusion, basically, take monster cards from your deck that are needed for a fusion summon, send them to the graveyard, and then in 2 turns you get that fusion monster. best part about Future Fusion, you don't need to have those monsters in your graveyard. You can do all sorts of stuff with them. So obviously, throw them away, remove them from play for Light Pulsar or Dark Flare Dragon, or just do other stuff. Call the Haunted, all that good stuff. So that's a really good card. Pot of Avarice, don't get a lot of chances to use this card, but you're obviously going to be sending a lot of cards to your graveyard, so Pot of Avarice is going to be really nice. Wingbeat of a Giant Dragon, I only have one. Lets you return a level 7 or higher Dragon-type monster to your hand and destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. That's pretty cool. I might exchange it for a Heavy Storm. Might. Monster Gate, this one is a really good card for this deck. Tribute a monster, and then you get to reveal the top cards of your deck until you come across a monster you can normal summon, and then special summon it. Everything else is sent to the graveyard, and that's obviously really good, because then you could possibly special summon Light Pulsar or Dark Flare Dragon. Another card that did not come in this deck, just like Pot of Avarice and Burial from a different dimension, is Foolish Burial, which I don't think I need to explain why this card is really good for this deck, but I will. You can use it to send a monster card from your deck to the graveyard, so obviously you already got like a light-type monster and you need a dark-type, send that to the graveyard. Send whatever you need. Excuse me. Charge of the Light Brigade, really good card. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and you can retrieve a Light Sworn monster from your deck and add it to your hand, so obviously very good. Anytime you can get cards in the graveyard is nice. It's ironic, but nice. Monster Reborn, obvious, I'm not going to explain that. Next is Book of Moon. Book of Moon, at first I didn't have this in this deck, but then because I had 3 Raikos, I'm like, you know what, rather than for like defensive purposes, use Book of Moon, like Raikou gets attacked, flip it back face down, you get its effect again, and get more cards in the graveyard. And then Magical Stone Excavation, discard 2 cards, add a spell card to your hand, so obviously something like Monster Reborn or Burial from the Different Dimensions, stuff like that. So you can use some of your best cards all over again. My trap cards, I added in a couple of Scrap Iron Scarecrows. Don't really need to, but I added them in just for like defensive purposes. Call the Haunteds, I have 2 of them, pretty self-explanatory, so I won't go over them. Dragon's Rebirth, this is really nice, like your monster gets targeted by like a Sakuretsu armor or something. Just basically what it says, banish a dragon-type monster you control, and then you can special summon a dragon-type from your hand or graveyard. So this is really neat, and I have 3 of them. And then the last 3 cards are, obviously you guys have seen them already, Escape from the Dark Dimension. Lets you bring back a dark-type monster that has been banished, so that's really nice. And, yeah, there we go. There's my deck profile for the Dragon's Collide Structure deck. Hope y'all liked it. Hope nobody will criticize me too much on my deck. Thing I like about this deck, it moves really, really quick, and by like maybe if you play it really well or really good, by the 2nd or 3rd turn, you can have a field full of like your strongest dragons. Well, anyway, that's all I gotta say for now. This is the Junk Synchron Hero signing off. Peace, rate, comment, subscribe, etc., etc., and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.